Kushtaka. Kushtaka are mythical creatures found in the stories of the Tlingit and Tsimshian Indians of southeastern Alaska. Loosely translated, Kushtaka means land otter man. They are similar to the Nat'ina of the Nat'ina Indians of south-central Alaska and the Urayuli of the Eskimos in northern Alaska. Physically, Kushtaka are shapeshifters capable of assuming either human form or the form of an otter. In some accounts, a Kushtaka is able to assume the form of any species of otter, in others, only one. Accounts of their behavior seem to conflict with one another. In some stories, Kushtaka are cruel creatures who take delight in tricking poor Tlingit sailors to their deaths. In others, they are friendly and helpful, frequently saving the lost from death by freezing. In many stories, the Kushtaka save the lost individual by distracting them with curiously otter-like illusions of their family and friends as they transform their subject into a fellow Kushtaka, thus allowing him to survive in the cold. Naturally, this is considered a mixed blessing. However, Kushtaka legends are not always pleasant. In some legends, it is said the Kushtaka will imitate the cries of a baby or the screams of a woman to lure victims to the river. Once there, the Kushtaka either kills the person and tears them to shreds or turns them into another Kushtaka. Legends have it, Kushtaka can be warded off with copper, urine, and, in some stories, fire. Since the Kushtaka mainly preys on small children, it has been thought by some that it was used by Tlingit mothers to keep their children from wandering close to the ocean by themselves. It is also said that the Kushtaka emits a high-pitched, three-part whistle in the pattern of low-high-low. Kushtaka history. Born of the frigid sea and claimed by its waves, the Kushtakas have swum the chaotic currents of the endless ocean since time immemorial. Long ago, the mother and caretaker of the Kushtakas, Kushait, came upon the doomed continent of Kushtaka where ice and snow sought to choke the life from the land slowly. Upon its frigid shores, the mother of the Yupik pantheon carved the otterfolk's first hold, and the fabled riverside city of Kushainak was born. Her children, the Kushtaka, grew old and wise within her sheltering embrace until they ventured out in search of their own holds. Yet, like so many other sophents, disaster would bring a twilight to the age of the Yupik pantheon and bring devastation to the continent as the earth shattered, the sea froze over, and the mightiest of rivers became vast glaciers. Seeking to survive this Arctic cataclysm, the Yupik pantheon fled across the endless ocean in search of warmer waters. Together, Kushait, Engata, and Seski ferried their peoples across the endless sea to what they believed would be the fertile lands of Haven. Sadly, as they arrived only a few short years before the fall, the Kushtakas did not find a lush world of abundance but a land cursed with the unfallen plague. This disaster was the tipping point for many Kushtaka, who now believe the mainlanders of Haven cannot be trusted to maintain the natural order and that they will stop at nothing to bring about the doom of the continent. As one of the largest god beasts known to exist within Haven, Kushait has been able to guarantee her people some semblance of safety on the rocky shores of the island of Yupik. Taking the physical form of a titanic river otter, she is said to lurk beneath the murky waters of the Black Sea, where she prevents the worst of its monsters from devouring her people. The elders of the Kushtakas say that if you gaze deep into her eyes, you will see the secrets shrouded by the depths that only she can reach. The sire, as one of the few remaining deities tied to the sea that has yet to be devoured by Shadium, regularly attempts to establish relations with the xenophobic tribe with little success. While conflicts with the Shorewall military and the City of Marble have served to further the divide between their people and the rest of Haven, today, only a handful of Kushtakas choose to involve themselves in mainland affairs and politics as they seek to establish and then maintain some semblance of natural order over the continent's chaotic sophents. Description: like many beast folk, the Kushtakas average around 6 feet tall and weigh slightly more than most humans. A sleek coat of thick, oily fur protects their skin by helping keep them dry and warm during long stints in the Black Sea's freezing waters. This dense fur comes in a variety of colors from browns and tans to the more common whites and grays. The same oily residue that prevents water from reaching their underfur and skin also gives them a distinct advantage when trying to slip away from danger. Their lower jaws make quick work of any dangers they cannot evade, as they are strong enough to bite through bones, shells, and even weak metals. These powerful jaws possess a locking mechanism that makes it all but impossible to shake off a biting Kushtaka. Thus, they use their lockjaw extensively in and out of combat as both a tool and a weapon. Kushtakas often come across as gangly and plotting while traveling overland. However, they are still among the most graceful and expedient swimmers on the continent due to their elongated webbed feet and muscular tails. These long tails both act as a counterbalance to assist in their rapid movement through water, and as a rudimentary hand used to hold onto floating debris loosely. They are further aided by their massive lungs, so much so that they can easily reach great depths before requiring a return to the surface for air. Society. The average Kushtaka spends their entire life either hunting prey or defending their island home. Kushtaka pups practice the ways of the spear and the tsikse from a young age, as the weapons function well both in water and on land. The children of Kushtaka believe it is their right to hunt and devour all creatures that are not their own, whether they be large or small. This has led to the rightful mistrust of the species by much of Sophantic life on Haven. Though they know nothing of the art of working metal, the Kushtakas are clever and industrious tinkerers, capable of crafting complex weapons and traps out of nearly anything. Their collective pride is in their unique tsikse, a strange crossbow-like weapon that launches hollow bolts that swiftly travel through water. Due to how slow they are on land, the Kushtakas have traded extensively for any and all kinds of metal armor to better outfit their soldiers on land. Some Kushtakas have claimed they are strong enough swimmers to even wear their armor while swimming, but the validity of this claim has yet to be proven. The few interactions Yupik Island has with the mainland are often delicate affairs that are only one wrong move away from open conflict. Many adventuring Kushtakas seek to improve their people's relations with the mainlanders as they endeavor to bring about Haven's natural order. Among the beast folk, the otter folk are viewed as kindred spirits, but their distance from verdant has resulted in little exposure to the primal races of the continent. Etymology. Loosely translated, Kushtaka means land otter man. Family. They are similar to the Nat'ina of the Nat'ina Indians of south-central Alaska and the Urayuli of the Eskimos in northern Alaska. Description and morphology. Physically, Kushtaka are shapeshifters capable of assuming either human form or the form of an otter, usually around the size of a man. In some accounts, a Kushtaka is able to assume the form of any species of otter, whereas in some others they are limited to one. Behavior. Kushtakas are usually known to be malevolent, always at war with the village's shaman, but there are a few tales where they are actually beneficial to the Tlingits. In many stories, the Kushtaka save the lost individual by distracting them with curiously otter-like illusions of their family and friends as they transform their subject into a fellow Kushtaka, thus allowing him to survive in the cold. In some legends, it is said the Kushtaka will imitate the cries of a baby or the screams of a woman to lure victims to the river. Once there, the Kushtaka either kills the person and tears them to shreds or turns them into another Kushtaka. Kushtakas are known for kidnapping human babies. Once they have had a human baby for a long time, the baby will become a Kushtaka too. The function was probably used by Tlingit mothers to keep their children from wandering too close to the ocean by themselves.